Lamar Jackson's name is buzzing around NFL circles again, and this time it's not just another random rumor floating around. A well-connected insider just dropped an update that changes the tone of the conversation and brings a genuinely positive signal, the kind that makes everyone stop and pay attention. But right alongside that good news, there's a quiet detail that makes the whole situation a lot more intriguing. Because when someone plugged into the league speaks up, it's never by accident. What feels reassuring right now could easily lead to much bigger developments down the road, and understanding that context is everything. Stick with this until the end, because this Lamar Jackson update doesn't just explain where things stand today. It also opens a door most people aren't even noticing yet, and it could directly shape the future of the Ravens. It feels like time has come full circle and brought the same story back again. As soon as the offseason starts creeping closer, Lamar Jackson's name automatically jumps back into conversation, even after a few relatively quiet years. And the reason is simple. His contract is back in the spotlight, and the Ravens know exactly how this movie usually starts. It's not new, it's not shocking, but always grabs attention when it resurfaces. The reality is Baltimore has been here before, and they know how fast this kind of situation can snowball. One day it's just a calm conversation about an extension. The next it turns into a national debate, with people questioning the future, commitment, and even pushing rumors that feel bigger than they actually are. Lamar is still the same quarterback. The team is still competitive, but the mere fact that a contract question exists changes the atmosphere around the franchise. For anyone who's been following closely, there's that strange feeling of repetition. Lamar already got paid once, already answered every doubt on the field with MVP-level play, and yet the topic keeps coming back like it's unavoidable. It's almost as if every time the calendar flips to the offseason, someone pulls this conversation back out of the drawer and dusts it off. And this is where the story starts to add new layers. Because once these conversations resurface, it's no longer just about what the Ravens want or what Lamar expects. Other eyes start watching, more voices join the discussion, and suddenly it becomes bigger than a simple contract adjustment, something that becomes even clearer once information from league insiders enters the picture. When Albert Breer talks, the entire league listens, and what he shared sounds calm, but not completely locked in. The core message is straightforward. The Ravens want to move forward with Lamar Jackson as their quarterback. There's no secret plan to move on from him, no hidden strategy to blow things up overnight. The intention is to stay together, just like the team has said publicly. But right after that initial sense of relief comes the part that shifts the tone. Breer makes it clear that nobody really knows how this negotiation will play out over the next few months. Big contracts take time, involve countless details, and until something is signed, everything stays a little bit up in the air. It's not chaos, but it's not full peace of mind either. That's where that awkward, everything's fine for now, feeling kicks in. The Ravens aren't rushing. Lamar isn't pushing anything at the moment, but the simple fact that there's uncertainty opens the door to speculation. And in the NFL, empty space almost never stays empty for long. Someone always steps in to fill it. And once that doubt starts to circulate, even quietly, other teams notice. They sense opportunity, even if it's a small one, and that naturally leads to the next chapter in this story. Unexpected phone calls. The Ravens don't need to announce anything for the noise to start. All it takes is someone on the outside imagining that Lamar and the team might not be perfectly aligned, and that's enough. From there, nothing stops other franchises from picking up the phone and making that curious, almost casual call just to check the temperature. Those conversations don't mean Baltimore wants to trade Lamar, but they perfectly show how the league works. When there's even a hint of instability, desperate or aggressive teams start thinking big. And at that level, we're not talking about small offers. We're talking about massive packages with high-end draft picks that grab the attention of any front office. What's most interesting is that all of this can happen without the Ravens doing a single thing. They don't have to create the problem for it to exist. The simple combination of an elite quarterback and a contract under discussion is enough to spark interest. It's an organic process, exactly the way Breer described it. And of course, listening doesn't mean accepting. Baltimore can hear teams out, say thanks, and stick to their plan. But just knowing those possibilities exist adds pressure to the situation. And once the conversation shifts from "we want to stay together" to "but what if," the next obstacle shows up fast: the insane complexity of any potential trade.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
In theory, any player can be traded. In reality, Lamar Jackson is a completely different case. He has a full no-trade clause, which means nothing happens without his approval. If Lamar doesn't like the destination, the structure, or the situation of the interested team, the conversation ends right there, and that's only the beginning of the challenge. On top of convincing Lamar, any team interested would need serious cash available. We're talking about over $50 million in actual cash per season over the next few years. This isn't just cap space. It's real money, and very few teams can handle that without blowing up their roster. As if that wasn't enough, there's also the price Baltimore would demand. To justify moving a quarterback of this caliber, the package would have to be massive, involving multiple premium draft picks. Very few teams can line up desire, money, roster structure, and draft capital all at once. That's why, despite all the talk, the general feeling is that this is far more difficult than is likely. Can you imagine wild scenarios? Sure, but they require a perfect alignment of many moving pieces. And when you step back and look at it calmly, the most logical path still points to what Lamar already has in his hands: his current contract. Lamar Jackson is under contract through the end of the 2027 season, and that changes everything. He's nowhere near hitting free agency. He can't be franchise tagged afterward. And he has huge guaranteed money coming over the next few years. From a security standpoint, very few quarterbacks in the league are in a stronger position. Those numbers give Lamar leverage, while also keeping the Ravens comfortable. There's no extreme urgency, no need for rush decisions. The team can plan ahead, negotiate patiently, and stay competitive while everything unfolds behind the scenes. Still, a strong contract doesn't mean total silence. Until an extension gets done, the topic stays alive, circulating around the league, fueled by rumors, analysis, and that famous NFL phrase: anything can happen. That's the price of having an elite quarterback. In the end, the picture looks fairly clear despite all the noise. The Ravens continue to plan around Lamar. Lamar remains the face of the franchise, and any move away from that path will require something truly out of the ordinary. Until then, the story keeps moving forward, driven more by possibilities than by real signs of breakup. With all of this laid out, Lamar Jackson's situation becomes easy to understand, even if it's not fully resolved yet. There's a promising update, there's a real intention from the Ravens to stick with him, and there's a strong contract holding that relationship together. At the same time, the NFL never stops. Major negotiations are never simple, and just having an open conversation is enough to create noise, speculation, and league-wide attention. The big question now isn't whether Lamar is still the quarterback of the present. That part is clear. It's how this story will actually get resolved behind the scenes over the next few months. Do you think this update truly points toward a smooth extension, or do you believe there's still room for an unexpected twist in this process? I really want to hear your take. So drop a comment below and tell me how you see Lamar Jackson's future in Baltimore. One thing is certain: until a decision is made, every detail matters. Every report shifts the tone. Every new piece of information changes the conversation, and even silence sends a message. The Ravens' future runs directly through Lamar, and following this outcome is essential to understanding where the franchise goes next, because in the NFL, the biggest stories almost always start this way, quietly away from the spotlight, before they explode into something much bigger.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself.